better home.
Today, I wonder.
Gotta crack a few skulls if you want to be topped off.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace discussing a curious rumor.
Oh, did it pertain to the Queen Regent and an important personage, perchance?
Indeed. Some suppose there is more to her relationship with this Batali dignitary than is publicly known.
Home at last!
Welcome home, young master.
Thank you, Diana. I am glad to be back. 'Twas a hard journey, but I found what I sought. A blue sunbright, the sigil of our house. I only hope Mother will be pleased.
Oh, a blue sunbright. I thought they were make-believe.
Oh no, they're quite real. Rather rare, though, and particularly to Melv. I'm surprised you've heard of them, to be frank.
Really? Well, there's a picture of one stuck to the inner cover of a book that was donated to the Gracious Hand. I asked Sir Kendrick about it. He told me the flower's name.
A picture, you say? How very odd.
I believe Miss Daphne is describing a bookplate. The book in question will have been a donation from this very house. Indeed, the mistress has been very generous in her support of the Gracious Hand over the years.
For true? Oh, I must tell her thank you.
I think I could arrange that. I'm certain my mistress would be delighted.
Yes. Well, as for me, I'm just pleased to be home safe and sound.
All this racket! What's going on? Good gracious, what is the meaning of this?
Oh, you must be the lady who's been supporting the Gracious Hand. Thank you ever so much for all you've done for us.
What precisely have you told this girl?
Not a word, mistress. I swear it.
Good. As for you, girl, you need not thank me. 'Tis the privilege of the nobility to help those who are less fortunate. Now, 'tis getting late. You had best be off. Do be sure to leave the house unseen. And fare you well, child. Know that where'er life may lead you, you may take pride in who you are. Come, Diana. I would speak with you alone. You have some explaining to do.
What was that all about? Mother seemed awfully perturbed.
The air certainly took a fell turn back there. Perchance we stepped on aught we shouldn't have.
I cannot say whether our path was the right one, but there's no changing it now.
To think the lady here has been supporting the Gracious Hand for so long. I must find a way to thank her. Are all the no-
'Tis a relief to be home safe and sound. I only hope the blue sunbright lifts Mother's... What was that all about? Mother seemed awfully perturbed.
What's going on?
Doesn't seem right, this.
I've naught to say to the likes of you.
Seems you won't be swayed. A shame, that.
Here for my liking.
About this?
Those garments you gave me had a marked effect. Albert set off to work the moment he saw them, and he's been working steadily e'er since. I ne'er thought I'd see the day. To be frank, I've not the slightest interest in the man, but he can surely benefit this city much more by performing an honest duty than by begging on the streets. In short, you've done us all a service. Pray, allow me to show my appreciation.
And so the flighty noble is put back in his cage. I do wonder if 'twas truly for the best, but what's done...
You need a permit to enter Batal, but they've become quite difficult to acquire of late, unless you're a merchant. Mind, rumor has it that it's easier for Beastrons to obtain them, perhaps because Batal's more of a Beastron nation. That's led to some people acquiring Beastron masks, of all things. Seems a bit much, if you ask me. Come to think of it, I've nary a clue as to where one would go to apply for a permit to begin with. All I need's my help.
Those garments had a marked effect. In short, you've done...
Always a fresh breeze blowing.
Fi! I thought I was being careful. How'd she find me out?
Do you know how long you'll be? I only asked so that I might adopt the most effective stance to recuperate my strength.
'Tis not our place to hurry the Arisen.
Always a fresh breeze blowing round here.
Will someone do aught about this?
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Have a look. I've wares of every ilk.
Not a foe in sight.
I'll take the peace and quiet over a horde of enemies any day.
Look, Master, goblins!
The Arisen has been torched! Quick! Douse the flames! Fall back, and I will heal you with my magic. Wait right there. I grant you roaring flame. Dare I say it? We trounced our foe, well and true.
No doubt this triumph will spur us into the next. That was impeccably timed, Arisen.
We have found a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
One of us is blue red! I shan't allow any further harm to come to you. Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
Very useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
No harm in picking a few. Well done!
Feast your eyes on this! Masterfully done.
Once more! Such a magnificent tapestry of stars.
'Tis no great shock.
You're welcome.
Fond of picking things up, aren't you?
Hang in there, Master. I'm coming to assist. I grant you fire's blaze. Use it well.
Would seem our fight is not yet done.
We fight. To arms.
It is easily done.
You're soaked. Do try not to catch cold. I'll go and open the chest.
If I were you, Master, I'd not leave this unread.
Let's have a look then.
I'm gonna win. An excellent spot to make camp.
Nicely done. I'll shine left and on. Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements. This looks as if 'twould fetch a hefty sum.
Deeper pockets make for shallower troubles, they say.
Might there be aught over there?
We ought to take a closer look. don't know about you, Master, but I'm worn out. Mightn't we have a rest before pressing on? Methinks we could move this boulder if we work together.
A firm push is what's needed here.
You are in need of healing. Allow me. Wait a moment. Was most effective. These fiends will resurrect so long as their skulls remain intact. But fear not. I shall gladly smash every last one. I grant you roaring flame.
Our traits mesh well together. Each of us is suited to a different task.
Capable comrades are a boon indeed.
It is no great shock to me.
Would not be unwelcome for an ally to appear for once. This battle cannot be avoided. 'Tis fight or die.
Very well, if I must.
My protection. Magics grant you an elemental boon. Aught felt from the keys for the Reaper's loss.
Oof. My pack's grown rather heavy.
Let's see. What can we do without? Is this a challenge arisen to see who can keep pace?
No time to catch your breath. Try to keep up.
Hold fast, Arisen! I will be with you in but a moment. I grant you Fire's Blade. Use it well. Most impressive, Master.
Keep on like that. We'll be done here soon enough. Over so soon? Why? We seem to have come through unscathed.
We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent. Take each trial as it comes. Tis not long till daybreak, Master.
The threat of attack seems more manageable by daylight.
A hidden path? I suppose there will be monsters lurking beyond it.
Pray keep your wits about you. We needn't go barging in.
Should you need to communicate in Elvish, pray call upon me. I would be only too glad to assist.
Goblins approach!
Caution would be wise. We ought not let it halt us in our course.
Let my magic imbue your weapons with the fury of the elements.
Curative ought to do the trick. You'll not live to regret this! A forgotten riftstone we've not discovered lies nearby. 'Tis this way, as I recall, from my last sojourn beyond the rift. Are we leaving already? Bother. I was just getting warmed up.
Open your eyes, everyone. 'Tis dark out, but our day begins.
Step lively. Journey by starlight shall make for a nice change of pace.
I hope you slept well.
I grant you roaring flame. I will protect you.
You've risen and gone up in flames before my very eyes.
I hope you weren't expecting mercy.
Tis a foe worthy of caution. Not say our blessings.
Perhaps.
This brute has quite the temper. Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
There's aught to be found there. Can you not see it?
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
I knew the village would be in a bad way, but neither did I expect to see it.
Tis a view that begs to be painted. Yon shore in particular.
What sort of place might it be, I wonder?
Do stop and have a look.
Look, as long as you please. What about you? Seems good evening, sir. I trust you. Fared all right on the roads, despite the hour. Much obliged.
Well then, son, how might I be of service? Welcome to... And quality's what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, hope to see you again.
Not buying? That's just as well. Better to be selective than wasteful. Browsing was enough to scratch the itch, in my case.
Welcome to... And quality's what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, just... Remember, mine's... Many thanks. I appreciate the...
Here, anyhow.
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive me, but I must return to my rounds directly. Ah, but in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premises. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? Would you care to accompany me? As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whate'er treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived. An unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now even their poor son Lubomir has fallen ill. By chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care. Let me get that. Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there! Help me! Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... Gah... Something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but I can hardly move.
I wish life was nothing but the good bits.
Do not approach me.
Each of our patients deserves our full attention. Would that we had...
Need someone to talk to?
Do not approach me.
I spend my days in quiet reflection.
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Tell is, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below.
Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeared for them. I do hope naught befalls Lubomir. I should like to see him walk out of here in good health.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. You've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the Sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
To get to the bottom of what is happening at the Gracious Hand, we shall have to acquire evidence of any misdeeds.
'Tis as you say.
Do not approach me. Might I beg but a moment of your time?
Need someone to talk to?
How might we enter the basement cistern?
Not a bad idea.
Medicine! 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 Now! Now! Now!
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone?
We found some evidence, but there might be more to discover. Let us scour every inch of this room.
Splendid. There's got to be something fun to do. I've brought you a gift. Will you accept it?
Do you perchance remember me? You once knew me as maid to the young master, Sebastian. Well, I'm his maid no longer. Though I meant no harm, the mistress saw fit to turn me out. Tell no other soul of this, but the girl I had you fetch was none other than Sebastian's own twin sister. Afeared of inviting conflict over their inheritance, Daphne's family branded her a cursed babe and sent her away. Yet the loss of her newborn child drove the mistress half mad with grief. She's been bedridden ever since. I had hoped the sight of her long-lost daughter might rekindle some vital spark within my mistress. But alas, 'twould seem it was not to be. In the end, my good intentions served only to rob me of my station. I suppose 'twas no less than my due for meddling in the affairs of the nobility.
Ah, Sir Arisen. I've been meaning to speak with you. Did you, perchance, pay a visit to the House of the Blue Sunbright? I see. After the rather strongly worded letter I received, I feared as much. 'Twas under unique circumstances, shall we say, that Daphne came to reside with us. You must understand, the House of the Blue Sunbright is our most generous benefactor, and their favor hinges upon our continued discretion. Thus, for the sake of all who reside herein, I beg you to steer Daphne away from any further contact with that household. Though it pains me to perpetuate the girl's misfortune, it must be done, if the gracious hand is to continue to function. Sir Arisen, pray see to it that naught akin to the recent...
I haven't seen my husband in some time. You wouldn't happen to know what's become of him, would you, sir?
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
No harm in picking a few.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me back to full health. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the sick. Suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
Elena? Ah, yes. The abbess of the gracious hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker, till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died down there. And once, I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up. And he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. He had the look of a scoundrel about him. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh? Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night, as I recall.
A crime committed here will see one confined to jail.
As I understand it, the pay of a jailer is miserable for all their toil.
Then a bribe might avail us, should the time come.
You're always such fun to talk to.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special medicine.
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
Aye, be seeing you.
This is not the first we've heard of Lord Phasus. What could his aim be, I wonder?
This is beyond me, I'm afraid.
This is a place of prayer. Do keep your voice low.
One can ne'er be too careful. Quit acting so chummy.
Worrying's giving me an achy back.
There's a ladder here.
After you, Arisen. Now there's a worthy prize, if only 'tweren't so far away.
What delights might there be to find in town today?
Lots to do. Lots to be time. Tomorrow will be no different.
About a dozen things at once.
It's so dull when there's nothing doing.
My legs are fair numb from walking about town.
I pray this harvest is a plenty.
I suppose I can finish it tomorrow.
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? What? You found a medicine used only in the basement sick room? I don't like the sound of that. Do you think... Could I trouble you to look into this as well? Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw before coming here. Radcliffe, his name was. He's staying in the rest town. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must know.
Methinks we would...
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like records of treatment. Johann and Bruno. I know these two. They left here not long ago, fit as a pair of fiddles. I recall them being especially meek to the abbess. Mayhap that's what got them out safely. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would speak to them in my stead?
Isn't there anything to do round here?
My prayers will surely be rewarded.
A short repose would do me a world of good.